Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about our next one topic, the state of the human capital formation in India. Up to the previous topic we have studied about the meaning of the human capital, the sources of the human capital, relationship between the physical capital and the human capital, and what is the relationship between the economic growth and the human capital. Now we will discuss about that what is the actual situation or the conditions of the human capital formation is existing in India. No doubt we know very well कि human capital format कैसे होता है, with the help of the investment in education, health, on the job training, migration and information collection by the people. But out of all these, most important factors or most important sources of human capital formation are education and health. We know very well that our economy, our government is having the three-tier system: union government, state government, local government. Under the local government, municipal corporation, municipalities, village panchayats. So mainly the thing is there, the function of every work is mainly carried on by at each level of government. So what is the question arise कि जो हमारी education और health है उस पे जो expenditure होगा that must also be conducted by, that must also be done by all the three tiers of the government. So now the major topic under the head of this topic, that what is the requirement for the government intervention in education and health sector. The main topic is there कि अगर हम बात करें कि हमारे एजुकेशन और हेल्थ सेक्टर में गवर्नमेंट को पैसा क्यों लगाना चाहिए, why they should interfere in these matter. There is a basic requirement of the spending money in education and health sectors by the government. What is the reason behind of it? No doubt we know very well that the education and healthcare services create both kind of benefits, the private as well as the social benefit. And no doubt due to these reasons we can say the both of the public and the private institutions in the education and health service markets are existing. It means कि public institutions भी health services और education services provide करते हैं और private institutions भी health services as well as education services provide करते हैं. So what is the basic impact of these things, or what is the reason of these things, or what is the requirement of spending money on education and healthcare by the government? So we will discuss about the reasons of it. What is that? The first one reason is expenditure on education and health. It just makes substantial long-term impact and they cannot be easily reversed. Hence, government intervention is essential. What are they saying कि जो education पे पैसा खर्च किया जाता है, health पे जो पैसा खर्च किया जाता है, ultimately it will impact to a great extent in the form of long time period. और अगर आपने एक बार पैसा एजुकेशन पे हेल्थ पे खर्च कर दिया है, आप उसको रिपीट नहीं कर सकते हैं दैट यू विल जस्ट गेट बैक एंड अ प्रीवियस टाइम पीरियड एंड यू जस्ट get the money back and then you will spend it again. No, it is a that kind of money, that kind of investment which is not recoverable if you will do it in an irregular manner, और अगर आपने इसे बिना सोचे समझे खर्च किया, it will not give you any kind of the returns in future. So the government interventions is required. Simply as per the example given here, they are saying that once a child is admitted to a school or the healthcare center where the required services are not provided, कि एक चाइल्ड को एक स्कूल में या हेल्थ केयर सेंटर में एडमिट किया गया जहां पर उसे जो सर्विसेज चाहिए थी वो प्रोवाइड नहीं की जाती, तो जब तक कि आप ये डिसीजन लेंगे that you are just going to shift the child to the another institution, it will ultimately lead to a greater amount of the damage which would have been done already. Moreover, as well as अगर आप individual consumers हैं जिनको proper information नहीं है इस बारे में about the quality of the services and their cost, so इसमें क्या situation आती है, the people who are innocent or who are not having the proper information regarding things, then The people who are providing the education and health services, they just get a monopoly power regarding these things. और वो ultimately किन चीजों में involve हो जाते हैं? They just involved in the exploitation mode. वो क्या करते हैं? Poor section of society को exploit करने लग जाते हैं. So in this kind of state, simply there is a requirement of the government intervention, कि गवर्नमेंट का इंटरफेरेंस बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी हो जाता है इस काइंड की स्टेट के अंदर, कि वो क्या कर सके, वो ये ध्यान रख सके कि कहीं कोई प्राइवेट प्रोवाइडर जो है इन सर्विसेज के, दे आर नॉट जस्ट exploiting the poor section of society, they are just they are just charging the correct price. After that, in a developing country, the second one point is there, in a developing country like our country is there, जैसे हमारी इंडियन इकोनॉमी है, जो हमारा लार्जर सेक्शन ऑफ सोसाइटी है फॉर द पॉपुलेशन, दे आर लिविंग बिलो द पॉवर्टी लाइन. बहुत से लोग उसमें ऐसे हैं कि जो बेसिक एजुकेशन और हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटीज को अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते. So due to this reason also we can say that there is a requirement of the intervention done by the government. So under the detail of this point, we can say that the major proportionate of the people are here who cannot afford to reach the super specialty healthcare as well as the higher education. On the opposite side, we can say कि हर एक citizen का ये right है कि उसको basic education और healthcare मिले. So this is also a requirement that the government should provide education and healthcare services free of cost. To which people? To the deserving citizen and all those people who are having a below the poverty line category. In India, we can say the next one, conclusion of it. In India, we can say the ministers of in India, the ministers of education at the both level, union and the state level, departments of education and so many kinds of organization like NCRT, National Council of Educational Research and Training, UGC, University Grants Commission, and all AICTE, All India Council of Technical Education. They just are the facilitating institution, जो mainly किसके अंडर आते हैं? एजुकेशन सेक्टर के. Both the union and the state government, वो क्या करते हैं? They just incurred the expenditure on the different kinds of the education system over the year. They are just spending the money in order to get the level of education at a higher sense, we can say, and with the help of which they just want to achieve the increased percentage of literacy in the overall economy. So due to these reasons, we can say our government is providing the basic facilities related to the education in the economy. Similarly, as like same, we cannot say that only the money is spent by the education minister. The health ministry is also there. The Ministry of Health at the union as well as the state level, Department of Health, and different kinds of organization like ICMR, Indian Council for Medical Research. They just facilitate, they are that kind of institution which just facilitate or provide a lot of kind of the health facilities. So ultimately there are so many institutions which are providing the health facilities as well as the educational facilities. After that, the next one topic is there, that growth in government expenditure on education in India. कि गवर्नमेंट जो एक्सपेंडिचर कर रही है एजुकेशन पे इंडिया के अंदर, उसमें क्या ग्रोथ हुई है? हाउ यू कैन मेजर इट? That from the previous time period, what is the actual growth which is made by the government in order to increase the expenditure on education? Simply, it can be expressed in two ways. The first one, as a percentage of total government expenditure, कि गवर्नमेंट का जितना टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर है उसके कितना परसेंट जो है वो गवर्नमेंट एजुकेशन पे स्पेंड कर रही है. सेकेंड वन, एज ए परसेंटेज ऑफ जीडीपी, कि जीडीपी का जो हमारी वैल्यू आ रही है, व्हाट इज द टोटल परसेंटेज ऑफ दैट जीडीपी विच इज गोइंग टू बी स्पेंड ऑन द education. So simply it can be measured in the two terms, as a percentage of total government expenditure, and second one is the as a percentage of GDP. So firstly, it just ultimately the total government expenditure. It indicates the importance of education in the scheme of things before the government, कि government के सामने education की कितनी importance है और government अपनी total earning का कितनी money spend कर रही है education की. It just define that. As well as a percentage of the GDP, it means how much of the income of an economy is mainly going to be spent on the development of education in the country. So the during time period 1950 to 2014, education expenditure as a percentage of the total expenditure of government has been increased from 7.92 to 15.7. कि 7.92 से लेकर 15 point, it means approx we can say the double expenditure is there, and as a percentage of GDP it just increased from 0.64 to 4.30. This is the first major, we can say, the indicator that government has increased their expenditure. After that, in 2009 government of India ने क्या किया, they just also implemented the one of the act, right to education act, which just made the free education as a fundamental right of all the children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. कि गवर्नमेंट ने एक ऐसा राइट बनाया, राइट टू एजुकेशन एक्ट, जिसमें अल्टीमेटली इन द एज ग्रुप ऑफ द पीपल 6 to 14 एज के जो चिल्ड्रन है, ये उनका एक फंडामेंटल राइट है कि उन्हें फ्री एजुकेशन मिले. Next one, Government of India has also started 92% education सेसोनल यूनियन टैक्सेस, कि जितने भी यूनियन टैक्सेस कलेक्ट होते हैं उनके ऊपर में से उनका टोटल टैक्सेस में से 2% जो है that will be ultimately spent on the education, and mainly we can say that will spend on the elementary education. Okay, after that, in addition to this, जो गवर्नमेंट है they also sanction a large amount of the for the promotion of the higher education, कि उन्होंने बहुत सा ऐसा पैसा स्पेंड किया किस पर्पस के लिए, हायर एजुकेशन को प्रमोट करने के लिए और कुछ न्यू लोन स्कीम्स बनाने के लिए स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, जो कि उन्हें आगे हायर एजुकेशन लेने में हेल्प करेंगी. So this was the actual growth of the government expenditure which has been made by the government in India. That government has increased their expenditure as a percentage of total income as well as a percentage of GDP also. After that, they have also implemented a right to education act for the free education. Then they also have implemented 2% education cess on all the union taxes, which will mainly spend on the elementary education. एक्सक्लूडिंग दिस ऑल्सो कि गवर्नर ने क्या किया है, बहुत सा पैसा खर्च किया फॉर द प्रमोशन ऑफ द हायर एजुकेशन, एंड दे हैव ऑल्सो इम्प्लीमेंटेड ए न्यू लोन स्कीम इन ऑर्डर टू इम्प्लीमेंट द हायर एजुकेशन.